Hello, my friends, esteemed colleagues, relatives. Again, we have to come back to the nonsense being repeated constantly by science and alternative medical enthusiasts about the importance of gut microflora. Now, we are being told that we need to have a diverse gut microflora. Now, why do we even think so much about the gut microflora? Well, let's just read what is being told, what we are being told by science. The gut microbiome is a group of trillions of bacteria, viruses, and fungi that affect the body's digestive system, immune system, heart, brain health, while some bacteria are associated with diseases, others are necessary for overall health. The gut microbiome controls the digestion of food, immune system, central nervous system, and other bodily processes. Okay, there are thousands of different types of bacteria in the intestines, most of which benefit your health. Okay, so we are being told this nonsense. Why nonsense? We'll get to it. But if you look at gut diseases, gut problems, well, there's always bacteria blamed for it. Irritable colon, bacterial, small intestine, bacterial overgrowth, SIBO. Just about every problem that happens with the gut is then kind of traced to the same microbiome. So we are being told, well, you have the wrong microbiome, so you should take probiotics. Now they have prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics. Okay? So, all this nonsense, we are just building up. Those are building blocks. So one nonsense to another, to another, to another. Everybody puts their 5 cents into it, when actually we have to realize that the microflora in our gut, same as everything else, is result of the environment. If you have a toxic environment, you are going to have a problem with your gut. Having bacteria there, microbiome or no microbiome, makes no difference. Claiming that health of the gut depends on diversity of gut microbiome is utter nonsense. What affects our gut in a negative way? Toxic food. So you put the wrong food or toxic food in your gut, your body is not programmed to digest it. So if it has any kind of a nutrient in it, then the environment is going to create adequate bacteria to break down the food. This is what we call fermentation process. And in herbivores, there is a rumen, it's a special fermentation sac where the green leafy veggies are going to be fermented. During fermentation process, cellulose is taken apart because microorganisms produce cellulase enzyme to break the cellulose. And then they basically, through mitochondria that they contain, transform carbs into fat. Then you have this fatty substance, but there is a small amount of this fatty substance. So what happens is that herbivores have to constantly munch. They have a huge stomachs, huge fermentation sac, and they constantly defecate because the small amount of fats and proteins that is created by the microbiome will not be enough if not plenty of volume of this food would be available. Now, human stomach is meant to be acidic. No fermentation there. No bacteria should survive there. No microbiome should be in a stomach. So, if we have a problem, we have a pain in the stomach, inflammation, especially ulcer, since doctors have no clue what could be causing this, then they go and check for bacteria, for microorganisms. And if they find Helicobacter, bingo, we got it. That's the problem, you see, bacteria. Well, the same Helicobacter lives in intestines, causing no problem. So now we say, well, you know, some bacteria are toxic to our body. Our body is not supposed to have them, and some are beneficial, as I just read it. Well, in which case one is one or the other. We have to realize that bacteria in a gut, the microflora, is a response to the environment. So if we eat something that we are not programmed to digest, well, body is going to create bacteria to break this down. Unfortunately, the absorption of nutrients happen in upper part of small intestine, mostly duodenum, right below stomach. Further you go down, less absorption of nutrients will happen, and in colon, you only absorb water and minerals. You don't absorb nutrients. And if any fermentation occurs that would be the benefit of this bacteria, the microbiome, well, it would occur in a colon. But from colon, the content goes right out of the body. So we do not absorb it. We don't have benefit of these bacteria in that part of intestines. Now, most of probiotics show no effect unless they are put in with their medium, with their environment. So what are we suggested to have as a probiotic with its environment? It's yogurt. So again, we are going to animal-based products. There is no probiotic for vegetables. Okay, you don't have any, you can take any, I don't know, juices. They're not probiotics. So, the biggest mistake or misunderstanding as far as gut health goes is that, or bacteria, if you have a wrong bacteria, they will cause problems in intestines, cause inflammation, and none of this is true. What causes the inflammation is the wrong toxic diet. And it's not only because you are eating plant toxins, because in the past, contrary to what we are being told, that we had short lives, people were living basically between 90 and 120 years. Some more, some less, but that was basically the age. This still was happening when I was visiting in 2000. When I was visiting Croatia, many people in Dalmatia that live on clean air, and they plant their own garden and eat fish from the sea. The elderly still lived 90 years plus. My friend's 85-year-old at that time, a mother, was reading without glasses and threading needle. She didn't need reading glasses. The problem is toxicity. More toxic food we eat, the more we affect the cells of our body with the toxins. If you eat raw egg, it's very light. You don't even feel that you are digesting anything. And when you go to bathroom, there is no foul odor. There is no smell. If you eat hard-boiled egg or fried egg, well, everything changes. First, it's heavy on your stomach. You feel like you put some rocks in your stomach. Then the body cannot really digest it because it's coagulated protein, so it will create a bacteria for this. Bacteria breaking the coagulated protein, we call this a rotting process. You go to bathroom and you need the gas mask, especially with egg. You have very strong sulfur smell, like you enter a volcano. Okay, so is the bacteria now beneficial to you? Well, maybe you get a little bit nutrient from bacteria itself, but you are creating toxic gases, toxic compounds. Then we say, oh, you see, egg white is toxic for a body. But yeah, because you changed its vibration. It is not anymore what it is meant to be or what it is when it's raw. We have to understand that there's a huge, huge, huge difference between cooked and raw food. Cooked food has shifted vibration. It's no longer, it doesn't resemble anymore the food that it was when it was in a raw state. This goes for proteins as well. This is why we should not overcook meat. We should just, well, the best is sear it. So you get the smell that you like and maybe some flavor that you like, but 1 millimeter, 1/8 of an inch on both ends, and in the middle, all that should be raw, and this is what you eat. What is overcooked, you eliminate. Now, the claims, other claims that the microbiome of intestines is going to produce stuff healthy for your brain and healthy for your system, like immune system. That's nonsense. Now, how do I know it is nonsense? Because when I go to cleansing and trigger diarrhea daily, for months, I may have every morning water shooting out of me. It's like I'm hosing my intestines. There could not be much of any microflora left. Actually, we are being told if you have diarrhea, profound diarrhea for a week or so, you need to replenish the lost microflora. Well, it is nonsense. Why? Because not only me, everybody who is in a protocol, once when the gut is fixed, so there are no inflammations, there is no inflammation going on, so there is no pain, you digest correctly, but you still continue cleansing on a cellular level, you are going to have diarrhea every morning. Could be pretty violent if you put more salt. And you flush your system. Then you eat correctly, you eat raw animal products. And what happens? You have a very small, if any, but probably you have some microflora still there, but adapted now to meat, to those overcooked pieces that body is trying to break down. So you have probably some, but you flush it out every day. So body has to make a new one. So you're going to have very, very small population of this bacteria in a gut. Especially you're having this diarrhea month or week after week, month after month. So you're really flushing. And what you noticed? Your brain fog lifts. You start thinking clearly. Your eyesight clears up. Your body lightens up. You feel really great. Your immune system is definitely up because all the pain goes away from your body. Now, in which way is the gut microbiome helping you with any of it when actually you feel much better when you don't have any? Not because you don't have the microbiome, but because it's completely irrelevant. Everything we are being told is pure fiction. We have experts of science that know shit about science. Wake up. Do your own experiments. Do your own testing. This is why I say, hell with doctors. Yeah, if you are in car accident, they have to patch you up. Emergency. Okay. They only are trained into normalizing things. Okay, setting you up. But then normalizing in a wrong environment leads to disaster. This is why I have many instances of people I was working with. As soon as we take the medication away, they immediately feel better. Because all the medicaments are poisons. They are poisoning you. They are trying to normalize you for environment that is not in your body. every time your hormonal level change, it is not your body going crazy. It is responding to the environment to try to make body survive in the toxic environment that you are creating. And now you are normalizing the hormones. Well, you are working against your body. And you are going to have consequences of this. I was pointed to some study telling that this group or that group of native people have a very diverse microflora, and this is why they don't have any gut problem and they can eat whatever and they have no problem, because gut flora has nothing to do with this. If you didn't poison your intestines with the food, doesn't matter what microflora you have there. It does not matter. I am a meat eater, but I can eat anything once and feel okay. If I start eating the wrong food, now I'm more sensitive to it because my telomeres has extended because it's living in a cleaner cell, in cleaner environment. So I'm becoming more susceptible to toxins. I realize them quicker. I realize the hints that body tells me about it. And I know, okay, I can have peanuts today. Then I feel next day a little bit tight, but it's okay. And I know the little tightness means if I repeat it today, I'm gonna be paying for it at night and tomorrow. Because I'm poisoning myself. Same as many other foods, which before I used to eat no problem. I have a little piece of bread, immediately I feel acid buildup in my stomach. Acid buildup. It's like a acid backup. Well, we feel it not because it's really acidic, but because actually is lacking acids. And when the stomach is not producing enough acid, it also is not producing enough buffer that protects the stomach lining from the acid. And if the stomach is not protected correctly, then even the small amount of acid can find a way sometimes to the cells, and it gives you the burning sensation. That's what we feel. Not because we have too much acid, it is because we don't have enough buffer. Sodium bicarbonate, which body produces in the same amount as it produces acid, to shelter it from it, and then later on to neutralize the acid before the content can be pushed into small intestine. So we just have to understand the body. But no doctor is educated to understand the body, because we are going through Rockefeller miseducational indoctrination programs. Gotta stop this nonsense. This is why. Don't be surprised that after system goes down, we are not going to lose only or see changes only in financial system and in government systems, but we are going to see huge changes in educational system. Schools have to go. Monopoly on learning has to go. Number one, all licenses have to go. Because there is going to be natural law. You do things any way you want to without harming others. Right now, doctors are harming their patients. unknowingly to them, because they think what they have been indoctrinated with, this is a cat's meow, this is exactly the truth, which is actually exactly contrary, opposite to the truth. So when we have these experts whose opinions rely on statistics, and they say, well, you see, these natives, they have very good biome, microflora, because they can eat anything and they don't get affected, and they look healthy, they don't have problems with, so it's microbiome. Has nothing to do with microbiome. Is they eat less toxic food. Microbiome is the shoot-off of the systematic action in the body. Completely irrelevant. We don't even need it if we would eat correctly. Because if you eat the way the body, human body, is designed, then food breaks down perfectly. There is very little need for any assistance being provided through bacteria or fungi or parasites. So, and again, it's easily proven. Follow the self-healers protocol. Yeah, at the beginning, if your gut is in bad shape, you may have there even water retention. You may feel bloated. You may feel gas as you are cleansing. But when the toxicity drops a bit, all of a sudden you start feeling fabulous with minimal amount of gut flora. So obviously, everything being said or told, we are being told through our science, is a figment of imagination. Something that makes them look relevant. Oh, they're experts, they know, they make studies. What kind of studies? They are collecting statistics. That's all they do. Well, we have to wake up. And, I'm constantly being asked about, well, I'm having diarrhea, my microflora, I have to watch this. Completely irrelevant. Forget about microflora, including microflora in microorganisms in our bloodstream, in our cells. They are there to deal with garbage that our cells cannot process because we are being poisoned on so many levels. Cleaner you are, the less of that stuff you need in a body. Okay, my friends, this is, I think, pretty obvious once when you start doing your own research on yourself. Experiment. See what happens. Never take anything for granted what you hear, even from what I'm saying. If you doubt, do it yourself. Change your diet, start eating correctly, start cleansing, hydrating, and let's see what happens. And having diarrhea for 6 months if you want. And you'll be healthier and healthier every day for it, with less and less microbiome in the gut, if any. What other proof do we need? Thank you for listening. Till next time. Love you all. God bless you. Namaste.